May I express my gratitude for being able to join you this afternoon. I'm here representing John Brumby, the Premier of Victoria, who sends his regrets for not being able to be with you this afternoon. The Victorian Parliament is currently sitting, so I'm very glad that I am representing the Premier of Victoria. Firstly, because I've got the opportunity to join you, but secondly, because it gets me out of a few hours of Parliament. China is Victoria's largest trading partner, and the two-way trade between Victoria and China grew by 13% per annum over the last decade. That trade is now worth $10.3 billion per annum. And if I can just outline to you the top export sectors between China and Victoria are education, with 107,000 Chinese students in Victoria, and tourism, with Chinese visitors to Victoria nearly doubling in the last 5 years. I welcome the opportunity for Victoria and indeed Australia to use the Australia-China Business Week as a vehicle by which we can build the trade relationship between Victoria, Australia and China. And while the Victorian government's business network in China is not as extensive as that outlined by Tim of Austrade's network in China, we're nevertheless very proud to have business offices in Shanghai, Nanjing and Hong Kong. The Victorian government takes the relationship seriously to the extent that we actually have a guiding policy that guides our engagement with China. It's called the China 2005 Beyond. It's a guiding document and guiding policy document for the Victorian government. If I can relate that to my two portfolio areas, firstly that of Minister for Small Business and secondly as Minister for Agriculture, the opportunities that exist to build further the very strong trade relationship and investment relationship we have with China in both of those sectors is an opportunity that I hope to capture. And for our Australian guests here and Victorian guests here, please use the Victorian government to engage and to build your engagement with China in terms of investment opportunities as well as trade opportunities. For some of the concrete things that the Victorian government is doing, we are sending a urban designers industry mission this year, and the Victorian government will also be represented at the Shanghai World Expo in 2010. And in a personal sense, if I may add, I look forward to very much visiting Beijing and Shanghai in July this year. During that visit, I will be seeking to explore trade and investment opportunities for the small business sector, and particularly opportunities for even closer engagement between the food industries and the agricultural sector of Victoria and China. May I conclude by again stressing that the Premier has asked me to convey his best wishes for the success of Australia-China Business Week, all its programs, and wishes the relationship between Victoria and China the best for the future. Thank you.